Hey everyone, welcome everyone. So this is episode 4 of journaling my trading experiences, documenting my trading processes, and I believe the past few episodes have been quite interesting, have been quite educative, have been quite knowledgeable, and thank you so much for listening, for watching, for following up. Thank you for So please, if you haven't, please don't forget to like, to comment, subscribe, and turn on notification to get more of this content. Thank you so much. This it helps the videos, it helps this content to get to another person. You don't know who it will probably help. You don't know someone maybe passing through the same maybe someone also passing through this kind of experience, and so is going to help that person also to be able to scale through and come out, because that's basically the reason for doing this because that's basically the reason for doing this for the sake of someone out there who might also be passing through the same thing, so you follow along with me on my journey, and then we both get to learn, and that's it. Yeah, so one thing I must say is that trading is quite a very interesting industry. It's quite a very interesting industry. And I believe I would have said this maybe probably in the past few couple of videos, is that you don't really understand how powerful social media is. You don't really understand how influential social media is. We don't really understand. Now, one of the reasons why I'm saying this is because me personally, not too long, I never realized how social media has affected and influenced some of my decisions until recently, until recently. And the trading industry, um, we have a lot, we have a lot of content out there on social media with regards to trading. There's a lot of content out there with regards to trading. And now the problem is that 80% of this content out there were put for the sake of views, for the sake of getting attention, not necessarily for the benefits of the traders who are going to listen, in order to help them become more profitable, but for the sake of just getting views and getting attention and all of that. But there are authentic content out there, but they're probably like 20 to 10% out there. So so and you will not really realize or understand what this has done. For example, a new trader starting out, and then what you probably have to fund is $10, $20, $30. Now, do you know that 100% return on on a 100% return on your trading account is a very wonderful performance? Is a very wonderful performance. So so a $10 profit on a $10 account, which is 100% return, is a very wonderful performance, which sometimes we can fail to realize. Even a $50 account, that's making a $50 profit, that's 100% return. So sometimes we can fail to realize this thing. Sometimes we can fail to realize this thing that that's exactly the same thing. That same person you see online making 100,000 USD, making 200,000 USD, making 100% return, 200%, 100% return on the account. You don't realize that that's the same thing you are doing. The only difference is in the account size. The only difference is in the account size. The only difference is in the account size. So coming online now and then we see someone who did um who did said I just took $100 to $10,000. I just took $600 to $35,000. Now looking at that kind of thing now, it looks exciting. It looks exciting, but it is not really helping. It is not really helping. It looks exciting, but it is not really helping. In fact, it is doing more damage. It is actually doing more damage because now the newbie now who just started trading now, making maybe funded $30, so making $30 every week, we no longer be able to see that he is profitable. But due to what he's seeing, it is just like a brainwashing, just like a brainwashing. And then he's not contented with what he's making. He fails to realize that it is a thing of compounding. It is a thing of sizing up, a thing of compounding. And then he enters into this repeated loop of blown accounts, blown accounts, blown accounts, blown accounts, blown accounts. And then genuinely keeps asking, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not profitable? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? But now the thing now is that genuinely he wants to know what he's doing wrong. Why he's not profitable. But the problem now is that in the first place, the mindset already has been tampered with. Mindset already is wrong. Mindset already is wrong. He doesn't know that a long time ago he should have been profitable. He should have been profitable. But just because of some of the things he's seeing on social media, and that has completely influenced. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I also am a victim of that. Like I said, I never realized how um dangerous, influential, and powerful social media is until recently. Until recently, and the day we realize that 80% of what we see online is not real, that is the day we will now learn to do our own thing. Because um you see others making money, it's their money, it's not your own. The one you make, that is your own. It doesn't matter even if it's your close friend, even if it's your brother. There is only little of the amount he can give you from the money, but the one you make is your own. The one you make is your own. And so that you will not let somebody who is not even profitable, but because has access to social media, and then just posting what feels like posting flip and all of that. So the little amount you have been making money consistently, and then you will now allow somebody who is not even profitable to make you lose your account, or maybe your funded account if it's a profit. You get. So and this is why sometimes you will see some of these business tycoons, you will see some of these wealthy men. A time can come, they will just decide they just want to take a break from social media. Just take a break and just think straight and just clear their head up. Just clear their head up, because a lot of the answers will not come from the outside. There are a lot of answers within us. Inbuilt in us is a lot of answers. Now, because like yesterday, while I was coming, I was just thinking, um, like yesterday while I was coming, I was just thinking, do you know that? Okay, let me give you a typical example of a school of thought. I was just thinking yesterday, think while I was coming, probably coming back from work. So there's a saying about money, and I believe you should have heard this. So one expert, we say, um, saving money is for losers. Saving money is for mediocre. You cannot grow wealth by saving money. You can't you can't become financially free by saving money. The rich don't keep money in the bank. Their money is always moving. Instead, the rich invest, they build businesses, they buy assets. Then you will meet another expert. They will say, um, each dollar you save, each dollar you keep is a tool that will work for you. It's a tool that's like you are reaching your financial independence closer and closer. Save for a rainy day. Save for a rainy day. It is wisdom to keep money. Don't spend every single thing you earn. Don't spend every single dollar you earn. Keep money aside. You understand? So you will see another expert too will say your job is not a bad thing. In fact, your job should work for you. They will give you the advantages. There was the advantage of having your job, and okay, yeah, your job. You can be building your businesses as a side hustle. That's for the meantime, but still keep your job. In fact, your job is a tool to fund. Maybe you are building assets, you are building businesses, and all of that. You will meet another expert, and they will say, "Go all in, go all in. Job is calm. Go all in. It's not about the paycheck, and just yeah, you get what I'm trying to say." So you will see all these ideologies, and they are true. You will see every single one of this ideology on social media, and the funny thing is that all of them are true. All of them, they are right. So which one do you pick? Which one do you pick? That is why you need to know what works for you. You need to be able to sit and shut down all the noise and just think. The reason I'm saying this, I'm not deviating. It has a very massive implication on our trading, because when you come to the charts, we can see the market can be noisy. You see the monthly time frame, you see the weekly, the daily, the 4 hours, the 1 hour, the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, or even 15 seconds, or even down to 15 seconds. So there can be a lot of noise, a lot of noise. But your capacity to be able to sit and you know what you are looking for, you just go straight to the point, because there can be a lot of noise. Maybe you have a bias from the higher time frame. Your bias is buy. When you come down to a lower time frame, you see a candle move, or maybe you see something that somewhat looks like your setup. Maybe you see something that somewhat looks like your setup, and then you become distracted. So you see those things are noise. So you see that it's still the same thing. That same internal discipline you build to face life. It is also the same thing in our trading. That internal discipline to not be distracted, to not be moved by impulsion. We know that this is where price is going to, but we see a short-term movement and then we become distracted. And then because we are beings of emotions, the ability to sit on our hands and not to do anything, to sit on our hands and not to do anything. So we come on social media. This one is saying buy Bitcoin. This one is saying sell Bitcoin. This one is saying buy Euro USD. This one is saying sell Euro USD. You don't know which one is correct and which one is wrong. But our ability to sit and to do our analysis. Now, another one, because this one too has happened to me, is that some then I've found myself in a situation or in a position whereby I've analyzed a pair already, and then I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do as regarding this pair. And then I come on X, or anyway, I come on X, and then I see somewhere else. Maybe someone who maybe has more followers, has more influence. Like he's someone who, okay, they look up to in the trading field. Yeah, and okay, let me just say someone who I respect posts an analysis on the same pair, but his own, my own is opposite of his own. I'll be like, hey, are you sure I will not? If this person is saying, are you sure? And then I'll change it, and then it ended up hitting stop loss, and me too I ended up losing. And then I figured out that my own analysis was correct. Now, one thing, because we are human beings, they too can be wrong. It doesn't matter. Even the ones who have spent years in this game, who have spent decades in this game, they still lose once in a while. They still lose. So they too, they are not shielded. They are not immune. They are not immune from losses. They can still take loss. Then secondly, you will not grow that way. Like we are not going to grow that way if we keep depending. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like signals like that, because it won't help me grow. Like you will not be there forever. You won't. You get. So they too, they are not shielded from losses. So from that day, I realized that okay, it doesn't. From that day, I realized that when I do an analysis, like I don't start looking outside or looking. If I hit stop loss, no problem. I hit stop loss. I learn from the trade. If it goes to take profit, no problem. I learn, and so that I can be able to repeat it again. Because one of the things we are trying to do, we are trying to look for a repetitive process. So we know that every single time we are coming to the market, this is what we are looking for. So those things, and this is the importance of journaling. This is the importance of journaling. So that from those losses, we keep learning. What did we do wrong? So we don't repeat it again. And then what did we do right? So that we can repeat it. It can be constant. And this is where the profitability is going to come from. Yeah, so thank you so much for staying down to this point. Thank you for joining me in my process, in my journey. Thank you so much, and see you next time.